Hello everyone, this is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. Today we have the latest Andreas Pop Culture project start, and this is how to fix it. This is the road to doomsday. So the start of this project I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how to fix a particular MCU project from phase 4 to phase 6. So starting with Black Widow and Shang-Chi for this week. So now Black Widow had the ingredients to be a great MCU spy thriller. The film gives Natasha Romanoff her long-awaited solo story, while exploring her complicated past, her relationship with Elena, the Red Room, and the guilt surrounding her Budapest mission, which is not much, but whatever. Marvel itself describes the movie as Natasha confronting the darker parts of her ledger and the broken relationships from her past. My version could make the story more focused on the Natasha emotional journey. I could make the Budapest a much bigger part of the plot, develop Taskmaster into a more personal antagonist, make Dracoff and the Red Room generally threatening, and reduce some of the comedy so the film will lean harder into the spy thriller identity. Furthermore, Aaliyah could still have a major role because her relationship with Natasha is one of the strongest elements of the film. However, the story could ultimately be about Natasha confronting her past, taking responsibility for her actions, and finally finding a way to make peace with the person she used to be. The ending could also be a better connected to Avengers Infinity War, showing Natasha moving forward after the destruction of the Red Room and setting up the version of Natasha we see alongside Steve Rogers in the original film is positioned between Civil War, Captain America Civil War, and Avengers Infinity War. Now, to finish up the Black Widow, how to fix it, uh, you know, remember this. These are the 10 things I think that could improve the film and maybe led to a better MCU Black Widow film. So, number one, make the story more personal to Natasha. The movie should focus more heavily on Natasha confronting her past and the consequences of the Red Room rather than feeling like another standard MCU action adventure. Number two, introduce Elena earlier and give her more development. I like Elena in the film. She's fantastic. Definitely the greatest new character that we got introduced in the multiverse saga in general. And Elena is, one of the film's strongest characters. Give her and Natasha more screen time together so their sisterly relationship has a greater emotional weight in the film. Three, improve Taskmaster. This is no secret. Taskmaster is really weak as a villain. I mean, him and Dreykov, well, I'll get to Dreykov later, but I think keep Taskmaster as a major threat, make the character's identity and motivation more compelling. The reveal should feel like a shocking twist rather than a predictable connection to Natasha's past that was mentioned in the first Avengers movie. Number four, make the Red Room more believable. The Red Room should feel like a generally terrifying global organization. Show more of its operations, its victims, and how Natasha's actions affected the people trapped inside it. Then I think the movie could have been interesting. All right. Number five, reduce the over the top CGI. The final destruction of the Red Room becomes visually excessive for some reason. I don't understand why, because I mean, the first two acts of the Black Widow is very grounded in reality, and then all of a sudden it becomes like a over the top Bond film. Like it had very much the grounded Daniel Craig kind of feel to it, to a spy film, but then all of a sudden it just turned into Moonraker all of a sudden. So a more grounded climax could better fit Natasha's is spy background better. All right. Number six, give Natasha a stronger emotional arc. The movie should explore her guilt over her past, especially the Budapest mission and her role in the Red Room. Her decision to free the widow should feel like a combination of her character's journey. Now, number seven, use flashbacks more effectively. Expand the 1995 opening sequence and show more of Natasha's childhood with her fake family. This could make the family's reunion in the present more meaningful. Number eight, make the villain more threatening. Now, this is not uh you know, aiming at Taskmaster, but more the actual main villain, Dreykov. I think Dreykov should have a more stronger presence throughout the film. Instead of mostly explaining his plan near the end, establish his influence and cruelty from the beginning. You see bits of that in the beginning of the mantras of the opening credits, but that's really it. So I think establish his influence and cruelty from the beginning and then see it throughout the film. Number nine, connect the movie more directly to Natasha's future. Since this is a prequel, right, the story could better explain how Natasha's experience here influenced her decisions in Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. And I think that could have worked better. And then lastly, number 10, end with a more emotional closure. And the final scene should emphasize that Natasha has finally confronted her past and chosen her own family. Then they could use transition naturally into her next chapter with the Avengers. So my overall fix, the best version of the Black Widow could fit a darker, more grounded spy thriller centered on Natasha Romanoff's Natasha Romanoff's complicated past, her relationship with Alina, and her attempt to dismantle the organization that shaped her life. Keep the action and the humor, but make the emotional story the priority. The biggest change I could make is definitely Taskmaster, the Red Room Central. In the Red Room, central to Natasha's personal journey, rather than having the movie feel like a conventional MCU action film with a spy thriller setting. So those are my 10 big fix in terms of the Black Widow movie 2021 film. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think Black Widow needed to be completely reinvented. It needed to be more. But we could have brought all those elements together into a much larger story about Natasha Romanoff confronting the sins of her past before moving into the final chapter of her MCU journey. That's why my biggest change could be simply make the Black Widow Natasha story first and everything else second. Elijah can carry the Black Widow legacy forward, but Natasha deserves a definitive solo film that felt like a true combination of everything we learned about her since Iron Man 2. Marvel's own respected, emphasized Natasha's story is ultimately tied to her attempt to confront her past and the legacy she leaves behind. So that's why my way of fixing Black Widow could be a darker, more personal spy thriller with a stronger connection to Natasha's history, a better Taskmaster storyline, and an ending that was more meaningful and connects her story to the larger MCU, ultimately to the road ahead towards Doomsday. And that's how. What do you think? How could I fix Black Widow? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you everyone for listening to How to Fix It, the Black Widow 21 film pod. I hope you guys enjoy it, and please comment, hit that subscribe button, and check out more for content in my channel. Ciao. Hello everyone, this is Andreas Pop Culture Guy. So here is the second part of the How to Fix It Road to Tuesday, and this is Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Now, everyone knows Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings is my personal favorite of the MCU post-Endgame films. Definitely my personal favorite of the MCU films in general. It's already one of the stronger MCU origin stories, specifically because of its martial arts, action, family drama, Shang-Chi and Wen Wu's relationship, and the emotional connection between Shang-Chi and his sister, Ling. If I was fixing the movie, I could make the Ten Rings themselves much more important to the overall story. The biggest change that could be establishing earlier that the Ten Rings have a mystery origin, and that Wen Wu's obsession with them is connected to something much bigger than simply possessing that power. Plus, most crazy already established that the rings are sending an unidentified signal with one wristbender and Carol Daniels unable to determine exactly what they're communicating with. I also give Shang-Chi a stronger internal conflict. His biggest fear should be becoming his father. His journey could therefore be about accepting his heritage without allowing what was likely to find him. And then plus, giving Ling give her a larger emotional arc. Plus, Kate could have a less comedic relief and more character development as well. Then, same thing when Wu's manipulation by the Dweller in the Darkness could be explored more carefully. Most importantly, the Ten Rings basically could have been more of a major piece of the multiverse saga, allowing Josh to feel more connected to the MCU larger story. So, absolutely, for how to fix Shang-Chi in the Legend of the Ten Rings, uh, Road to Tuesday, I'll focus less on completely rewriting the film and more of a strengthening Shang-Chi's place in the MCU, making the Ten Rings mystery more important to the larger multiverse saga. Shang-Chi already ends with Shang-Chi and Kate being brought into the larger MCU by Juan, Bruce Banner, and Captain Marvel, while the Ten Rings set an unexplained syndrome which hasn't been paid off yet. And now with the Avengers Doomsday coming in December 18th, Shang-Chi appearing in the film's current promotional material, there is a real opportunity to make this ideas pay off. So how could I fix Shang-Chi? Number one, make the Ten Rings mystery the backbone of the movie. The Ten Rings shouldn't just be an ancient weapon organization. I'll establish earlier that the rings are not originally from Earth and that Wen has spent centuries trying to understand their true purpose. And then second point, make Wingwood's motivation more uh, comp- uh, uh, complicated. Yeah, I mean, look, Tony Lance Wingwood is one of my personal favorite MCU villains. I mean, he's already one of the MCU's strongest villains. I lean even harder into his obsession with finding his wife and gradually reveal that the voice calling him towards Talo may not actually be his wife. That could make the reveal of the trailer in the darkness much more effective. And then number three, this third point, I definitely they should have done was give more Shang-Chi more internal conflict. Shang-Chi should spend more time struggling with the fear that he could become his father. His greatest battle isn't simply defeating Wen Wu, isn't proving that his father's legacy doesn't define him. I think that's something they should have done. Number four, give Ling a stronger arc. This is really important. I like his sister. I think her sister is really fascinating. Her becoming the new leader of the Ten Rings is a really great twist and a good direction, but they haven't paid off that yet. So I think Shang-Li becoming the new leader of the Ten Rings is a great ending, but I'll give her more. Scene throughout the film, and her relationship with Shang-Chi should be one of the central emotional conflicts. Then number five, make Katie's role more connected to the story. Now, Katie can still provide the humor, but I'll give her a more meaningful reason for becoming involved in Shang-Chi's world. Her archery ability could also be developed throughout the film instead of becoming specifically important only during the final battle. That was kind of weird. It should have been more established early on than just there. And then, lastly, in my point, number six, connect the Ten Rings to the multiverse saga. Something that they haven't really done. This is the biggest change I'll make for your Road to Tuesday series. The post-credit scene already established that Juan, Banner, and Danvers cannot identify the Ten Rings that they were transmitting a signal. I'll make the mystery a deliberately early piece of the multiverse saga. I mean, again, it was kind of was, but they haven't paid that off. The Ten Rings are not mentally powerful weapons. They are technology or artifacts from the outside known the MC reality that could make Shang-Chi more important to the larger saga. I mean, look, the Doomsday Connection, this is where uh, so instead of Shang-Chi feeling like a isolated origin story, you rewrite what could establish him as one of the MCU's key generation heroes. The Ten Rings could eventually become important to the multiverse. Conflict with Shang-Chi being the person uniquely capable of controlling them, that gives him a reason to be involved in Doomsday in the first place, and beyond simply being another superhero in the crowd. So that's my overall fix. Keep the heart, the martial arts section, Shang-Chi's, relation with his sister and father. Of course, the performances by Wen Wu and Tao still intact. I think I just really, for me, I will change the pacing, the villain mythology, Shinley's development, Sean's internal conflict, and most importantly, the Ten Rings mythology. That way, Shang-Chi could still work as an origin story, but it also can feel like the beginning of something much larger piece of the story. And that's the goal of my change of Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings. Now, in conclusion, ultimately, I couldn't completely overhaul Shang-Chi, built on what already works. Keep the incredible martial arts choreography, keep Samuel Liu and Tony Long's performances, keep the family drama, keep Shang-Chi and Simon Lee's relationship, plus keep the emotional story about Shang-Chi confronting his father's legacy, plus but make the Ten Rings mystery the foundation for the Shang-Chi future. And now that Shang-Chi is officially part of the Doomsday cast, that setup is even more potential. Marvel's official Doomsday page lists Simu as Shang-Chi and confirms that the film's December 18th, 2026 release date. So, so my biggest goal with this rewrite could be to make Shang-Chi feel like the beginning of a much bigger story rather than its isolated Phase 4 adventure. Shang-Chi isn't just the master of the Ten Rings, he should be one of the heroes who helps lead the MCU into its next era. And with Avengers Doomsday bringing together the heroes from the multiple universes, this is a perfect opportunity to finally pay off the mystery that Shang-Chi started back in 2021. And that's how I could fix Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, everyone. I hope you enjoy it.